Good morning, Cochise County, and welcome to the Michael Zehr Show. Today's date is Friday, December 8th, 2023, and we're coming to you from the Rising Eagle Studios here at the Warrior Healing Center in Sierra Vista, Arizona, in the great state, or in the great county of Cochise is what I meant to say, not state, county. uh, I'm kind of decked out. I got my Santa hat on, getting ready. We're getting festive here at the Warrior Healing Center. Everything is all decorated, and so if you're looking to come in and spend some time and hang out with us, be prepared. It's a jolly place to be right now this time of season. Before I introduce my special guest interview, I want to let everybody know about something special that's going on tomorrow. And it will be taking place at Doc's Watering Hole. They're going to have, it is the first annual MOAA Day at Doc's Watering Hole, and it's going to be an Army-Navy game, and it's a watch party. So go Army, Army strong. All the fun starts at 11:30, and the game time is at 1 o'clock. Contributions accepted will benefit the Coronado MOAA Scholarship Fund. This is a veteran-owned business of the year, Doc's Watering Hole is. So come on down tomorrow, starting at 11:30, and join everybody. Wear your Army gear or your Navy gear or your Warrior Healing Center gear or whatever, and come on down and join the fun tomorrow. Hope that we get a good turnout for this event tomorrow. So come on down and support them. Today, my special guest interview is Will Taylor. Will, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Is it William and Will is a nickname, or is it Will?
Yeah. So hello everyone watching. My name is William D. Taylor.
Okay.
My go-by name normally is just Will Taylor or just Will. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what
cool.
It is.
I actually met you the first time when we were doing the thing at the park with Leslie.
Oh yes, I believe
it was
so.
Like I don't know if it was the 4th of July event or the one that was right after that, but we were hanging out there watching the table. We had a little Warrior Healing Center table. I think that was the first time I actually met you. I've seen you a few times at the meetings for the volunteers.
True. Yes.
Because I know that you were doing the Rona stuff, so you have quite a strong connection and a presence here at the Warrior Healing Center. So I personally want to thank you for all that you've done here at the center.
Thank you, sir.
And let you know that what you do is very much appreciated, and it doesn't go unnoticed.
Thank you very much, Michael. Yes.
So I just wanted to get that out there because we do really appreciate everybody that pitches in and helps out here. It's a godsend. It really is. And these people stepping up and helping out. So to get started with today, what I'd like to ask you, my first question I usually ask everybody, why did you join the military and what branch did you join?
Yes, Michael and all the viewers, yes. I joined the military. It was kind of like a lifelong passion for me to want to join because, to be honest with you, I kind of wanted to be like Rambo,
Uh-huh.
I'm a big fan of Rambo movies, and wanted to be like him, First Blood, help save POWs or, just help out everyone that needed help,
Right.
in that aspect, So I joined the U.S. Army in 1999. Yes.
Wow. And where were you living at the time when you joined?
Yes, when I joined, I was living in Indianapolis, Indiana, and joined at the
so you're from the Midwest.
Yes, yeah. Grew up a little bit in Indiana,
Uh-huh.
Also in Chicago area and Milwaukee as well.
Chicago.
Yes.
Go Cubbies.
That's right, go Cubs.
I love my Cubbies. So
yes,
it's just amazing that when I connect and meet people that are from Indiana, and I could sit around and talk for hours on stuff that goes on back there because we're in Arizona, so yeah, you see a lot of snowbirds and stuff out here, but it's just great to connect with people that have been there. So what was your MOS when you joined the military, and why did you choose it?
The first MOS that I had when I joined was infantry, 11 Bravo. But when you first go to Fort Benning, Georgia, when you're in OSIT training, you're just like an 11 X-ray. Because at that time, you could be an 11 Mike, 11 Hotel, 11 Charlie, or 11 Bravo by the time you graduate. But by the time I graduated with all of my comrades, I was 11 Bravo Infantry. And I did that for a couple of years.
And where was your training at for that?
Fort Benning, Georgia, in OSIT. Yeah.
Where at? Fort Benning?
Fort Benning, Georgia. Yes,
oh, okay. All right. So I was checking to see if we had any kind of comments or any issues with the streaming, because it says that we're having an error loading some of the comments. So.
Okay.
So how many years did you serve in the Army?
22 years, a little over 22 years.
22 years.
To be exact, 22 years, 2 months, and 2 days.
When you joined, had you planned on making it a career at that time, or what was your goal at the time?
My goal at the time was partially to make it a career, because I'm still a little undecisive if I wanted to make it a career or not. But yeah, as time went on, I just thought that it was best to make it a career, especially looking at all the benefits that the military has,
right.
The Army, especially with education and just everything overall, medical. And, that was the big thing too, the medical aspect, because I worked in the civilian sector for 8 years before I joined the Army.
What did you do?
An array of different things, My
Okay.
first job, like I said, when I went to, I started working when I was 16. And I worked at a 4-star German restaurant in Milwaukee, Wisconsin called Carl Roch's Restaurant.
Okay.
And I worked there for 2 years. After I left there, I went to the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater for like just 1 semester, and then went to visit my family down in Indiana. My mother had moved down there. And when I was visiting her, I injured myself and couldn't get back up north, so I had to resign from school.
Right.
So ever since then, it was like an assortment of different jobs in Indianapolis, working at Kroger as a utility clerk, working at Embassy Suites Hotel, downtown Indianapolis location, because they have 2 Embassy Suites in Indianapolis, one out north and one downtown.
A lot of good work experience.
Oh, yes, a whole array of work experience.
Before you joined,
warehouse experience, even a warehouse experience in Milwaukee, Wisconsin as well. So, the meat factory,
How old were you when you joined?
When I joined, I was 24 years old. Yes,
so you're 24.
Right.
See, and that's the thing that amazes me about the military. You can enter as young as 17.
Correct.
And could you imagine going in and serving 20 years, starting at 17 years old, and you're going to get a paycheck for the rest of your life every month, and you're only 37 years old? That's just mind-blowing.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And that was one of the things that appealed to me about the military. I was like, man, I mean, to retire after 20 years of being in. And so tell us a little bit about some of your places that you served, and what was your favorite duty station, and what made it your favorite duty station?
Oh, wow. So some of the places that I served, because right after graduation, I had hometown recruiting program. I was part of the HRAP program. But then I had
How did that work?
First assignment. Well, you just, after graduation from Fort Benning, you go back to your hometown. So I went back to Indianapolis, and I had to be in my greens all the time and go to the malls or to the schools and just try to recruit other people that wanted to be in the military,
How long did you have to do that for?
That was only for 20 days.
For 20 days?
Yeah, for 20 days. Mm-hmm.
So you were kind of like a living poster.
Yes, walking,
talking poster.
Yes,
a recruitment poster.
True. Yeah. So like initially when I signed up for the military, I already signed up. And my ex-wife wanted that as well, for us to go to Hawaii right after graduation. So and after the recruiting aspect of the 20 days. So
is that where you went?
Yeah. So I went to Schofield Barracks, Hawaii.
Yeah.
As an infantryman. Yeah. So even just getting there. And then even after doing training a few times, I lost hearing in my left ear, And I thought at that time, as an infantryman, if a war was to break out, because, Bush was still in administration, I wouldn't want, the enemy to sneak up on me if I couldn't hear them too well. So I thought it would be best that I reclassed or get out of that MOS. And so that's what I did. I put in a MOS, Medical Retention Board packet, MMRB, So I did that, and then the Army reclassed me to, at the time, 71 Lima, which later was 42 Lima and 42 Alpha.
I have to ask you this question because when you said Schofield Barracks, when you enlisted, you could pick your first duty station.
Correct.
And so that was same with you as
Correct.
well, right?
Yes.
So tell me what it's like when you're growing up in a Midwestern town, and then all of a sudden you're exposed to this whole new environment, new culture, and of all places, Hawaii.
Oh wow, yeah, it was different. Being there amongst the Hawaiians. I found them to be kind people. Loving, caring, giving. And at the same time, I was just trying to enjoy myself and then also do my job and take care of my family at the same time.
Right.
And get out and just enjoy the scenery. It was beautiful there.
Did you get to do a lot of stuff when you weren't working in Hawaii? Did you get to do a lot like the sightseeing and do any of that?
Yeah, my ex-wife and daughter, the children and I, we did some sightseeing around, because you're on an island,
Right.
People refer to it as Honolulu, but each island has its own name, And so the island is called Oahu. And so, if you drive around Oahu, it takes pretty much only like 4.5 hours.
Right.
So, but there's still plenty to see there, I would like to take my current wife there, next year, is what I'm trying to do. Because I was there in Hawaii for 5.5 years. So I got to see a lot,
I'm guessing you got to see Pearl Harbor.
Yes, yeah, I did that a couple of times.
What was that like? That had to be pretty moving, huh?
Oh, yeah, it was very moving. It was very beautiful, too. So, like, when we did that, I did that with my ex-wife, and my daughters, but I also did that, with my unit, and then it doesn't matter, like if you're doing it with your family or not, you just show respect. When you're walking onto Pearl Harbor, you basically salute, and then after that, you can just start walking onto the ship, and exploring. Got a couple of tours. It was beautiful.
How long does it take to go through the whole thing there in Pearl Harbor?
Ooh, wow.
Like a couple hours at least?
Yeah, 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, because I've been on other ships too, for touring and everything,
Right.
in San Diego a couple of years ago,
Midway?
or last year. Yeah, the Midway. Yeah. My wife and I went on to the Midway. Yeah.
That's
'Cause I
pretty
think-
cool, huh?
Yeah. Yes, very cool. Yeah. So it's very beautiful there in Hawaii.
So tell us though, out of some of those places that you served that you were mentioning, what was your favorite duty station of anywhere that you served, and what made it your favorite duty station?
Okay, so as far as duty station, I was also stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Okay.
Also Wiesbaden, Germany. Fort Hood, Texas. Naval Air Station, Joint Reserve Base, New Orleans. And then also Turkey, Izmir, Turkey.
Oh, you were in New Orleans, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Got
I
to
was in New
exposure
Orleans.
some of the.
Yeah, and then stationed here at Fort Huachuca.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it was a little difficult, between New Orleans and Izmir, Turkey. I had a lot of fun in Izmir, Turkey. Met a lot of great guys, a lot of my new friends and everything.
What'd you do in Turkey?
In Turkey, at the time, I was an E8, a Master Sergeant in Intel.
Okay.
And so I worked in a G2 shop, and we had to produce products for the general and our other outlying units under NATO. Because, I worked for a 3-star general
Wow.
in NATO, so in the G2 shop. So we had to produce products that went out through all of the NATO area in Europe. So, yeah, that was nice. I like that.
So looking back on your 22 years that you served proudly in the United States Army, what was your fondest memory that you could share with us?
Fondest memory, was just basically the camaraderie, of all of the soldiers that I served with and worked for, and just the leadership that I've had, because I believe in the same thing as the Ugandans, because I also deployed to Uganda for 6 months as well in 2014, and the Ugandans, they believe that, everyone is a teacher as well as a student, and I believe that too, because I'm looking at it, no matter how young or old you are, there's always something new to learn, and so I learned a lot from a lot of my soldiers that were younger than me or same age, whether they outranked me or not, so those are my fondest memories. It's just all of the intellect and the lessons that have been bestowed upon me and leadership as well. Thank you, everyone.
Well, one of the greatest things I love about volunteering at the Warrior Healing Center and hanging out here is I've had the pleasure and the honor to interview on the enlisted side as high as a sergeant major, on the low end, all the way down to somebody that was like a private. I've interviewed officers that were like, all the way up to colonel, No generals yet, but maybe one of these days.
True. Yes.
But what I'm saying is when they walk in the door here as a veteran, they don't wear their rank. Now, they bring their knowledge and their experience of what they've learned holding these positions, and they help around here and they use that. And that's one thing that I really admire about all of our veterans that are here and are volunteering, is that they're doing it out of the love of them, out of their heart, but they're
Yes.
doing it because they care about other service members.
True.
And they don't walk around like, well, I was a colonel, so you need to salute me. And,
Right.
I mean, we're all equal.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. We're all equal here.
Yeah.
As soon as we walk through the door, once we lay down our hat to retire, or done our time in the military, we're all equal.
Yeah.
Back out into the civilian sector. Yes.
But it is great, though, that have all these different backgrounds and experiences and people bringing that wealth of knowledge in, because it's what helps our veterans and helps the center stay afloat,
Yes, sir.
So it's so can you tell us, looking back on your military experience, that you got, well, let me rephrase that question. I'm sorry. What positive experience did you get from serving in the military that you carried into the civilian sector? That's what I was trying to get to.
Just positive outlook on life, because I've deployed multiple times to the Middle East, in war. But the appreciation that you have and the gratefulness that you have for your fellow comrades, as well as just for the things that you have in life, for your family, and your quality of life, has made me a better person, and then now
Right.
I'm able to give back to the community, here in Sierra Vista and Cochise County, and just show love and give love to everyone, no matter, ethnicity, nationality, those types of things, and just the whole leadership aspect, is what I've also taken away from the military,
Right.
that I like to help others and be a beneficial presence to others as well.
Did you retire here at Fort Huachuca, or where were you at when you retired?
Yes, I retired here out of Fort Huachuca. Yeah.
And so, what was your first civilian job that you went into that you carried some of that experience with you?
Really, right now, I do not have a civilian job.
No.
So
How long ago did you retire again?
I retired because I did the ceremony in October of 2021.
Okay.
But I retired. My actual official retirement date was the 30th of November.
Okay.
2021.
So you didn't really have the need to, or the desire really, then to go right back into the work field.
Correct. Yeah, because dealing with PTSD and other medical issues,
Right.
I had to kind of decompress, and then kind of re-civilianize myself, if you will, which is a little tough. It really is in a lot of ways. But there's help out there. Veterans Affairs. Have a lot of programs that can help us veterans in those ways, so I don't work, I just do school. So I'm
Right.
an online student, pursuing a bachelor's degree at the University of Arizona right now, and at the same time also pursuing my associate's degree through Cochise College here.
And what is your end game for that? What's your goal for your degree?
My goal for my degree is to just, probably get another DOD job once I'm done with getting all of my degrees, which probably another 2 years down the road.
Any particular field that you're interested in?
Not in particular.
No.
My horizon is still a little open right now, just due to the fact that, there's a lot of different things
Right,
out there,
yeah.
So I'm just still kind of feeling those things out, just trying to finish getting my associate's degree in military intelligence operations, and in the midst right now of changing my bachelor's degree program, to business administration or interdisciplinary studies, something like that, and then pursuing a master's after that. Yes.
So share with us, if you would, what it's like, though, because you're wearing a uniform for 22 years, right? Signing the boots and all that fancy stuff. Or I don't know if you still did that, but
Yeah.
But anyways, what I was getting at was you had that regiment, then you retire, so then you're transitioning into that civilian sector, and you had mentioned a couple of the programs, but if you could also share with us a little bit what kind of struggles that you ran into, because it had to be difficult transitioning from that, having all that camaraderie and that strong work ethic and stuff, and then you're in the civilian side now, and like you said, you're going to school, kind of taking it easy.
Right. Yeah.
Is that kind of how you've been dealing with it? That was your plan?
A little bit, yeah. I had hoped to have received my degrees by now, but
Right.
it's just been a little difficult, again, dealing with PTSD, because I've been to Afghanistan multiple times and Iraq as well. So, just dealing with those and just trying to seek help through the VA was beneficial. So I've been trying to take care of myself in those ways as well, getting the help that I need.
What do you find has worked good for you with your disabilities? Like support groups, I mean?
Yeah,
or...
support groups, through the Veterans Affairs, they have multiple support groups, through substance abuse or anything, especially being a recovering alcoholic, because, I know that many years, I did indulge in that a lot, so I sought through help in that way, and then also just the other groups, like PTSD group through the VA. I know that they have one here as well that
Right.
meets,
Right.
and then even those that are of the Vietnam era, they still have groups here that meet
Mm-hmm.
once or twice a week. So I just indulge in those types of groups as well, and then just school, and then just trying to take care of my wife and my family,
Because it is like a daily struggle
Yes.
happening to get through that stuff, and that's why I like to try and find the success stories like what you were sharing,
Yes.
and help to encourage others and let them know that there's hope,
Oh, yes.
and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that it doesn't all have to be dark and gloomy. We're here to help, and there are ways that people can assist our veterans that are suffering from PTSD and other disabilities.
True, yes. And that's another reason why, I like volunteering here at the Warrior Healing Center. I've been doing it a little over a year now. I know some people that still kind of come here, I might be a little unfamiliar to them face-wise, but, I have been volunteering a lot, with Christmas decorations, putting up the trees, trimming out bushes out front, cleaning up around the area, painting inside, helping out people, and then even when we have festivals at the Veterans Park, I try to be there every time to, sit there at the Warrior Healing Center booth, and give out the pamphlets and the information, because the Warrior Healing Center helps out in a lot of different ways, to a lot of veterans, with food assistance, financial assistance, getting us those assistants like yourself, Michael, who helps us out with, getting some of our benefits.
Right.
Because some of us may not think that we have been given our correct disability percentage or those types of things, and that's what the Warrior Healing Center is here for, to help out with a lot of those different things.
Have you gotten your 100% then, or
Oh, yeah,
where are
I'm
you
good.
at?
Yes,
So you're
I'm
good?
Yes, I'm good, sir. Yes.
But it was kind of a struggle, though, working through the system, right, in order to get benefits that you earned.
Right, yeah, that was a little bit of a struggle, and I did that before I exited the military, before my official retirement, because, there's 3 different programs that the VA has, or 3 different contract companies that the VA company has that they, use, and so I had to go up to Tucson several times for medical appointments, which is no problem, so you just go up there and you just, let them know, what your disabilities are, and they'll kind of gauge that themselves as well, because they've been doing this for many years, and so, but that's what yourself and others are here
Right.
for too, to help with those types of things, and I can help with that, help to give people some more information if they would like,
One of the biggest things I like to tell our active duty is when they get ready to retire, or if they ETS out of the military, to get a copy of your medical health file, because when you go to claim with the VA, if you have all the copies and you can actually physically give them to the VA and provide it instead of the VA having to track it down,
Yes.
it's a time saver.
Yes,
It really is.
So in addition to that, though, Michael, what I've learned is, through my father-in-law, and I'm very grateful for my father-in-law, Ralph Rivas. So, he told me to go through the DAV as I was exiting, and I did that. But I also filled out the form as I was retiring, a medical form, because you got to go through a medical screening with your primary care manager that's, through TRICARE on base, And then after that, you also have to give the form to the front desk. So I gave the form to the front desk at RW Bliss, and within 2 weeks, they gave me all of my medical records. So like I said, I've been all around the world pretty much.
Right.
And so they gather all that information into their computer system now, because I know at that time that the computer system and may not have been communicating with each other, especially if like you were, like I said, I was in Afghanistan and Iraq and Turkey, all those medical issues. They are able to get all that stuff now, and they put it on a disc, but they make 2 discs. So one disc is for yourself, and the other disc is to give to the VA. And the VA can help put together all of your medical items for the increase for your disability, and so that's what I did, So I went to the DAV and also the the VA for them to help me, and they put all that together. They fill out the paperwork and everything, and they'll contact you and communicate with you, and they'll go over all of your medical issues that you've encountered or endured throughout your military career, and they're just going to still let you know that some things are going to kind of coincide, right? So like I have back problems, right? A lot of other problems. So I have upper, middle, and lower back. So they'll say that it's just overall all inclusive of just your back, right? That's just as an example. So, and they'll do that, and then, they'll send it to the VA, to the actual adjudicators that give you your rating. So
I'm going to have to do some research on that. I'm wondering how the digital age has changed the medical care, because I was a 71 Golf, and that was patient admin and medical records.
Right. Okay.
And that was my MOS, but that was in the 70s. We didn't have, the computers and all that stuff like they do now. And you go into the VA, you used to go in and your health jacket would be like this thick, but now you don't see them anymore. Everything, like you said, it's all on the computer. It's all, they bring it up and...
True, yeah. I mean, I even requested all my medical records. I had 2 thick jackets, like you said,
Yeah.
And I still made copies of all of mine and gave it back to the medical records department. But, that was just in case, that I didn't get the disc. So, or the discs. So, which I did get the disc, because now, the medical arena uses a portal that it's all encompassing. They can communicate with other medical areas or medical staffs and hospitals around the world that you have visited, regardless of branch of service that it was as well. They all communicate now.
So what advice would you give to someone who is considering joining the military today?
I would say strongly consider it. Just kind of look at, for me, what I did was look at the medical aspect, especially like in the civilian sector. You have to pay a premium.
Right.
Every time you go to the doctor, and then you have medical insurance that you have to pay every month. I mean, you're going to have to do that in the military too, but it's probably not as costly. But then another aspect, like dental, dental is free when I was in the military, especially active duty, irregardless of all 3 of my MOSs, the 11 Bravo, the 71 Lima, and then the MI, 35 Fox, So even the dental aspect, it's free. So, and even the educational benefits, you have an opportunity in the military to go to school for free, to include, like, if you're enlisted, you could be enlisted for a little while and then go to green to gold, or there are other programs to become an officer, those types of things. So the horizon is out there for you to divulge in whichever direction that you want.
When I interviewed Brady McManus last week, I think it was last week, on a Thursday, he had taken advantage of that green and gold program and explained a little bit. It's a good program.
Yes, it is.
And another thing, I was reading that the military is having like a difficult time getting people to join the military, that they're actually they're actually in the process of reaching out to those that were discharged because they wouldn't take the vaccine. And asking them to come back in. I like to read the news. I don't like to watch the news. It's too depressing. I like to read like Reuters and some of the independent type stuff, because that way I can kind of make up my own mind. But I think it's interesting that the military is taking this different aspect, and they're trying to bring people back in that had the prior service, like I said, that they released. So
yes. It's a little bit of a challenge for them right now, because a lot of people have a strong stance on the vaccination aspect. You know, they're like, well, it's my body. I should
Right.
be able to do what I want, you know, but people got to understand, you know, even those that are in the military, you got to kind of conform to military standards.
Yep.
You know, that's what I try to get a lot of my troopers to understand a lot as well.
But you know, you used to get the anthrax shot, and you used to get all these other shots
Yes,
without
yes.
questioning anything. But
That's
when
true.
COVID came along, that was like a huge game changer
Yes, it
for
was.
for the military, for their vaccine program and stuff. So, and we won't get into that. We don't want to
Right.
get political. I'm just saying. So you retired here from Fort Huachuca. So what was it about our area that you loved so much that you decided to stay here?
One, again, growing up in Chicago as well, and then also in Milwaukee, you know, all 4 years of high school in Milwaukee.
Snow.
You know, snow. And speaking of that, yeah, I mean, that's where I was headed. That's the direction. You know, I saw it snow in May in Milwaukee. I was like, ooh, this is just, I don't like this too much. You know, it's supposed to be kind of warm out, you know, but I mean, it was still beautiful in Milwaukee and everything. But, you know, I was just tired of the cold, you know, and I wanted someplace that's going to pretty much be kind of warm all year round, you know. And then I love the beautiful mountains that are here. You know,
Yes.
some people may not think they're so beautiful because they're not
They are
100%
beautiful.
green, but I look at it, they still have a beautiful aspect to them.
They're God's gift to humans.
Yes,
you
it
know?
is, yeah.
So,
And there's many beautiful trails here that you can
Hiking,
hike
yeah.
or bike. You know, a lot of trails in Cochise County or even other surrounding counties.
do you do a lot of the hiking and biking on those, or?
My wife and I haven't done any lately, you know, because
Uh-huh.
we've been kind of busy. You know, she's been busy with work and I've been busy with school stuff. So, and then me volunteering here and then other places in the community. So, yeah, I haven't done it lately, but you know, she and I plan to do it because it's also been very hot here too.
Right.
You know, we haven't had much rain this
season,
last
yeah.
monsoon season, right?
You know, I was going to recommend to you, if you want a quick, easy hike, and it's a
Yeah.
beautiful area, is up at Ramsey. Go up to Ramsey Canyon
Okay.
Road. Go all the way to where it ends. They've got that hummingbird sanctuary there, and they've got these beautiful little trails that you can
Oh, right.
hike. So
Yeah.
it won't take you that long, and you know you could get a little bit of exercise, and then look at the beautiful hummingbirds and all the different wildlife and
Okay.
everything. It's
Yes.
so peaceful and relaxing, and it's good stuff.
Yeah, definitely will do that. That'll be on the bucket list.
And so my last question for you, and we've already kind of touched on it a little bit, but for your volunteer work, I know that you do a lot of volunteering here at the Warrior Healing Center and some of the items that you described. Do you have any other things any other activities that you're passionate about?
Well, I've also volunteered at the NAMI program, you know, which is those that National Alliance of those with mental illness.
Okay.
It's kind of really actually around the corner. So I've helped volunteer over there as well, you know, help them kind of build up the place, you know, help them do flooring and that type of stuff too, you know, because
Okay.
I'm able to do a few little things from time to time, you know, when my body is like, okay, we're good, we can do it. So yeah, when I'm not down for the count for a few days, like I was during Thanksgiving, you know, because of my back. But yeah,
Right.
when I'm able to do certain things, you know, I try to volunteer or even volunteer at other clubs, you know, I'll help them out with other things that they need or want. So yes.
And another thing I love about Cochise County, I think it's a great place to raise a family,
Yes.
you know, and to just, I mean, a lot of the big world problems that we read about don't seem to happen. I don't know if I think it's just because we're around this being a military community and stuff like that. I think that we all have a lot of respect for each other,
True. Yes.
and I think that helps.
It does, yeah. This is what they call, I guess, a retirement community. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna have like a lot more calmness here. You know, a lot more serenity, a lot more love and respect for one another. You know, and I see that a lot here. You know, and that's one of the things that I like about the community as well. Yes.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us? Any last words of wisdom, or?
I would just like to say thank you for everyone's time of watching us today. You know, if any of those that would like to join the military, again, it's a beautiful thing to do. You know, I understand the military is not for everyone, but hey, you know, at least try to give it a shot. You know, I know I did. I know there was times that I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to re-enlist. But, you know, then I started thinking again about those times of, you know, okay, if I go back into the civilian sector, you know, all the things that I'm gonna have to deal with. You know, if I stick it out of being in the military, you know, I'll be able to retire with a pension,
Right.
and also disability. You know, those types of things. You know, so those are the positive aspects about being in the military. You know, about just having some stick-to-itiveness. You know, and trying to stick it out and retire. But again, I understand. You know, it's not for everyone. Um, and so I just want to say thank you everyone for watching. You know, all of my siblings, you know, my brothers, sisters, mother. My father is no longer with us. He passed away years back.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, but I just want to say, you know, my children, stepchildren, my daughters, stepdaughters, grandchildren, everyone, hello, and thank you for your time. And you know, you all have a great day.
One of the great things I love about doing these interviews is it's veterans that are sharing their stories. And like today, for some reason, we're getting an error on the comments. So after the live feed is over, what happens is it stays up on the internet. It stays on YouTube. It stays on the Warrior Healing Center Facebook page. Believe it or not, it's on Twitter, Twitch gaming stream. There's like 8 different platforms that these interviews go out to, and they stay up there.
All right.
So one of the things that we do is we monitor the feeds and the comments.
Okay. Yes.
So if anybody does have a question, if they couldn't ask you today, if they want to put it down in the comment section after the interview is over. Oh, Jennifer got one in there. Look at that. Nice interview. Thank you, Jennifer. So somehow it must have popped back in there. Look at that.
Oh, yes.
Cool.
I see it.
So anyhow, what I was saying though is that we do get comments, we do get questions after the show is aired that people watch, and we do monitor those. And I would love to ask you to come back and share a little bit more
All right, I will do that.
of your service, and maybe give us an update on some new things that might be coming up for you as well. So I'd like to have you back in a few months.
All right, thank you, Michael. I would love to
Touch
join.
base with
And then
us.
one last thing, I would
Sure.
also like to say thank you for all of my family and friends out there, and most importantly, my wife, for all your support and your love. Thank you very much.
Aw, you just earned your wings. Okay, I
Thank
have
you
a
very
few
much.
quick announcements here to announce. I did the one at the beginning of the show about tomorrow at Docks, starting at 11:30. It's going to be the Army-Navy game, and the benefits for that go to the MOAA. It's going to be a scholarship. The Coronado MOAA Scholarship Fund is where the money raised that they have for that. So that's the Army-Navy game. Docks Warrior Healing. Docks Watering Hole. Jeez. So we have the 5 Treasures of Qigong that meets every Monday here at the Warrior Healing Center, and that starts at 17:30 hours, and that goes until 18:30 hours. Am I saying it right? 18. Sometimes I screw up on the hours when I do it that way, because let's see. We have on Tuesday, December 12th, starting at 0900 and going to 1200 hours. We have the Healing with Art, and it's going to be Let It Snow. So we're going to have a Christmas theme Healing with Art next week. We have the Tuesday, December 12th, starting at 1400 hours, going to 1530 hours, is the Travolta Hope and Wellness Support for caregivers. So if you are a caregiver taking care of someone, and you're finding, oh wow, I don't know what to do here or there, or I really could use somebody that has going through the same thing, and they need that support group, well, the Warrior Healing Center has that for you, and it meets here every Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Is it every Tuesday?
Yes,
I think so. So we also have today. Man, I tell you, I haven't done these announcements in a while, so I'm choking here. Sorry about that. Also, Tuesday, December 12th at 1730 hours, going until 1900 hours, we have the Veteran-Owned Business Network, and that's a touch base. And what they're going to be doing is meeting at the Warrior Healing main conference room. So if you are a veteran-owned business and you are not part of the Veteran-Owned Business Network here at the Warrior Healing Center, I would highly encourage you to attend and join that meeting. It's 2 Tuesdays a month. Thank you, Warrior Healing Center. 2 Tuesdays a month for the Travolta caregiver. I didn't think it was every day. It's just... Okay, and also coming up, we have the Thursday, the 14th of December, starting at 17:15 hours and going to 1900 hours. Battle of the Bulge. It's a 5-mile Team RWB challenge. It's going to be meeting at the Home Depot in Sierra Vista. And on Thursday, the 14th of December, starting at 1830 hours, going to 2,000, or is it 2000?
2000.
2000 hours. Thank you. That's where I always mess up. It's at 2,000. Yes. Yeah, 2000 hours. It's the Warrior Healing Space and Timing. That is a support group. And they meet here at the Warrior Healing Center in the main conference room. We also have the Bagels and Brew coming up, and I'm winging this one. It's going to be on Thursday, December 21st is when we're having our Bagel and Brew. That starts at 0900, that goes to 1100 hours. And the Bagel and Brew and the Fun Food Friday are two very well-attended functions that we have here at the Warrior Healing Center as well. And then one last thing, Jennifer said that you have to pre-sign up for the Healing with Art, and Jennifer said she thinks the next class could be full, but it still wouldn't hurt to stop by and check. And Michelle runs that group, and it's a lot of fun, and they do a lot of amazing things as well. So, Christmas is coming up. I hope that everybody has a safe, happy, joyful holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'll be back here again next Friday. And Will, any last words for Christmas season?
Yes, thanks again for having me. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah to everyone out there. And again, I would also like to thank my barbers at Juan's Barbershop. Thank you very much.
There you go. Make you looking good.
That's right.
All right, everybody, take care. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.